frame, damn it. Whoa, we already got people super chatting. Let me just start it out now. Salute to Starlight. Gang, gang, gang. Come in frame. Come closer. Come close. Bring the chair closer. Cause you know it's funny. iPad's so expensive. Nice iPad, but the way how they be having a camera, boy, unbelievable. Anyway, people, Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. I'll get the whole time the phone wasn't ringing.
As soon as we start.
Whole time the phone wasn't ringing.
Today's Thursday. This is what now? March 4th or 5th?
4th.
4th.
Got my man Baba New here.
Star date 2019, March 4th.
I'm sorry, people. These are ills of going live.
Coming out of a Mercury retrograde and all of the confusion. Hopefully that, people made it out fine. We've been getting a whole lot of interest in the classes. Mr. Benjamin will talk about it. We have a very, very interesting topic tonight. Were the ancient Egyptians evil? Tonight we are set up on the iPad. We are set up for call-ins. So if anyone has any interesting questions, as soon as Mr. Benjamin gets back, you can call into the show and ask questions that you like. And before we get off on that, because that's really, bouncing off of Joel Benjamin, for the people out there, I did a couple of pilot shows called
1819
about ancient Egypt or Egyptian lifestyle and culture show. It's on my channel, God Genes Decoded channel. And in terms of are the ancient Egyptians evil, what I touch on is how influential ancient Egyptian lifestyle and culture is on the Western world. And what is very, very interesting about this show, Egyptian lifestyle and culture, if you go and check it out, is that the culture of the rich, the culture of the wealthy, that's the culture of the ancient Egyptians. And there is so much out there on ancient Egypt. It is pretty much the most studied culture, the most studied civilization on the planet.
Hold on, backtrack, Benjamin, backtrack. So, salute to the international audience, okay, and salute to the domestic. All right, let's do this right, the right way. Joel Benjamin 528, Big Money Benjamin, and I got Baba New here. All right. As you see, or just heard, he talked about are the ancient Egyptians evil. Now, as you know, we have a course coming up. Okay, Nisi Davis, salute to you on that super chat support. All right. Y'all already know, hit the damn like button as y'all come in. This is gonna be a great show. I'm gonna let Baba New flow. One thing I gotta get into. First question, because we gonna hit this rapid. You ready? Are you ready for this?
Rapid
we got
response.
We got the course coming up now.
Oh yeah.
So, are you ready?
I am ready. I was born ready.
Wasn't the ancient Egyptians doing evil? And let me be clear, because some people like to say that's when the Europeans took over and whatnot, and I'm like, no, not from my research. So be honest, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna be flat out. To my research from my studies, the ancient Egyptians were known as pretty much the most moral people of the time. Most of the reports by people who studied ancient Egypt and went down, the reports went down into history.
Were some of them even okay, Baba? Because you think
Right.
I'm playing. You ain't
No.
gonna have the people say, "Oh,
No.
Joel
No.
Benjamin 528 ain't asked the right questions."
And
Because you know
some
what's
of
being
them.
said. No, 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 no. Because we ain't gonna play games with this.
Okay.
We ain't gonna play games
We're
with
not
this.
gonna play games with this.
Didn't and when I say some of the ancient Egyptians, even because for my research, what I get to understand, they had a war, and I notice a lot of Egyptians don't talk about that civil war. Well, people that's into Kemet don't talk about that civil war the ancient Egyptians have, where it was the good one versus the bad ones, the good
Right.
ones versus the bad ones.
And you know some.
They like to try to throw time period and say, "Oh, that's when they conquered," but we both know
No,
that's garbage.
sometimes kings fought for thrones. You know, these were for lack of a better word, these people were humans.
What about the ones that was practicing certain dark arts of magic, and it had others that did not approve of that?
Right. And to be honest, I really don't know much about that, but I will say
You have heard about it though.
no, I will say, and I would like to get into this. If you read the book Egyptian Magic by E. A. Wallace Budge, that book really gets into the evil that was being done in Egypt, but this is when it was falling. And it's very, very important to note that in studying the history of the country, you really only see this type of behavior when they were falling. And it it sounds like Haiti. If you read
Hmm.
Egyptian Magic by E. A. Wallace Budge, it sounds like Haiti.
Because we saw what happened with Haiti.
Yeah, we see what is happening and the things that we hear about in Haiti, the lure of the Vodun and the so-called evil of the Vodun. When you read E. A. Wallace Budge's Egyptian Magic, in the beginning, he is going over how things were, what was happening with this science and this wisdom and this magic when things fell apart. And it looked
Horrible.
absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Anthony, salute to you on that super chat support. So my next question is,
Right.
what was, because when they say evil, we know, and I know being that you wrote the God Genes Decoded book, I know you know what was going on, where they was cutting off the hands and the phalluses, penises, had them packed up. You could find that on the wall, on the Egyptian walls, where they was cooking people. And you know today, it have a certain group in Hollywood, the lady that was even in the Jay-Z video.
Right.
You understand that? I think it was the Picasso video, and she all up on Jay-Z holding, and Jay-Z all dealing with her. You
Right.
seeing pictures with her and Jay-Z and Beyonce, where they going to the soul cooking parties.
Right.
Where it have where the Egyptians were doing that. Why? Why was that particular time with that
We
rulership?
really have to clear that up
Clear it
because
up.
when you see people being cooked in pots in ancient Egypt,
No, on the grill. Forget the pots, on the grill.
no, I don't see that.
I'll bring up the
Yeah,
pictures for
you
you.
really have to bring that up, but there is depictions of people's souls being boiled in
Right, that
pits
I know.
of
That I know.
fire.
That I know.
Yeah,
But
and that was for the
this is the one
purification.
I'm talking about where they had them on a grill, and they make the grill with the unks. So it's there. I could bring
Right.
that for you and show you.
Bring it up. I have to see it.
Now,
I've never seen
so
it.
what about with the phalluses?
Right. There
Excuse
were
me.
many depictions of phalluses in ancient
Hello?
Kemet. If you were to go to Oshun Grove in Nigeria, there's a huge statue of it's called of an aether deity, and you know my guide said to me, he said, "This is the god." So there's this ideology of god or manhood and fertility and fecundity. So those are there is a lot of pictures of manhood. There's also a lot of depictions of the male orgasm, of the semen flowing down out of the penis, because it's about procreation.
Okay, but
It's about
why were
having a
they
creative
cutting off?
power.
Why were they
Right.
cutting off like when they went to war and they won the wars?
Right.
Why were they? What was the reason for them to cut off the person's phallus and storing the phalluses? What was the point of them and hands? What was the point of them doing that?
Right. Those two things I've never heard about.
Okay.
In terms of going to war, taking people's body parts, just hands and phalluses, and bringing them back, I've never heard about that.
Okay. So
But
we're gonna
I
get
would like to read, on it, and see what it is about.
okay.
You know.
Now, have you heard of them? Since we're talking about the evil with it, because these are just some questions people was throwing at me, as you know, where they was like, "Oh, you're doing the course and whatnot. How deep could the course go? What's going on?" So they asked these questions. How about with the sleeping with the sisters? What was that about?
Yeah.
But I know, I'm assuming what you're gonna say. They had with the bloodline, keep it in the family.
Yeah, I do think that happened with royalty, and me personally, one of the things that you have to understand is that we live in a way different time. We live in a totally different culture, and our our moral compass is gone. The other thing is, when you study ancient Kemet, and I wanted to bring this up, why I did something called Egyptian lifestyle and cultures, that a lot of times we really don't see much or get to learn much of the day-to-day life and lifestyle of the ancient Egyptians.
That's why this
On
course
the
is so
right,
important.
on the other hand, though, we get into a lot of the taboos, and it's about the priests and priestesses, and the kings and the queens. Now,
Hold on, back up. You said it's about.
the we get into we are privy to the information and the activities of priests and priestesses, kings and queens. Now,
Glorifying it, basically.
glorifying it being presented, we don't realize that's not for the general population. As if to say, because I was counseled on this after I got initiated, where they'll say, if you're a Hungan, you can't just
Oh, you are what? If you are what? Could you repeat
an
that?
Ungan, and
Could you explain what that is?
a high priest of Vodun, you can't be with just anybody, because there are going to be practices that you have to engage in, that, and they're not even talking about anything evil or dirty. It's just not normal. And
That's not normal.
you're right, you're going to be getting into practices that are not normal, as well as they're going to be supernatural events happening in your life that your significant other or others are going to have to deal with, the fact that you have to deal with those things. So, one of the things that a lot of us don't realize, which is why it's very important to read the God Genes Decoded, is that
Leatherback, be clear.
a
Leatherback.
leatherback. Oftentimes, you are reading very, very advanced science knowledge that was only privy to the high educated caste of the society. Um, they claim that only about 1% of the population can read.
Wait,
Uh,
wait, what?
Only about one
Of what
percent
population?
in back in ancient times.
In ancient Egypt.
In ancient Egypt and other civilizations.
So why do people back up now?
Right.
So why do people glorify like every man and woman in Egypt was a king and a
Because
queen
people
and they
ain't
were
because
because that's what they
black
teach.
people
That's what
because
they teach.
a lot of it is because black people are depressed. Black people have low self-esteem, and that's what they look towards to build them up, and they're going to gravitate towards that. When you start to actually study ancient Egypt, you will see, one, it was very cosmopolitan. Two,
Meaning, back up meaning.
cosmopolitan mean that in certain regards it was similar to America. It had cities, it had schools, it had universities that were massive. Like if you got the privilege to go to college,
Mm.
you were there with like 70,000 other students. It was like a little city. They had theaters where people went to perform. People had yachts. Um, People took romantic trips on the Nile with their significant other. To state that it was cosmopolitan. One, we are talking about 2, 3 to 4,000 BC, whereby you have people that are living in a state where they made roads. They literally got huge slabs of stone and made roads for their streets. Um, because it was desert, and not that it had to be, there was a lot of landscaping. So you had very, very skilled engineers with advanced projects to rework how the Nile flow and make like what you call oases. They would make those things by redirecting the flow of the Nile so that the sand could be fertile with the water. They would bring different types of plants, trees, grow them up, bring different types of animals. So it was like a park. So, when people are engaged in this type of building and establishing of the infrastructure of a civilization to evolve people's experiences of life. For instance, they had barbershops and beauty salons back in ancient Egypt.
Hold on. Okay, people, you see Joel Benjamin 528. I put up the Eventbrite link so you could get the courses. These are 6 college courses. All right, these are the curriculums. Babanu is going to break down. All right, I already have the different dates. You get the course, you get the dates. You will be using the God Genes Decoded book, the leather back version, the leather back edition, because that has the whole extra stuff in it. Getting into some of the stuff that we're talking about and much more. So, continue.
Yeah, the ancient Egyptians were very, very interesting people, to say the least. For some reason, is very rare. That there is something about them that people see as evil. It is more so fascination. You know,
Wait. Well, who repeat that one more time?
it's very rare that there's this idea of the ancient Egyptians being evil. It's more so fascination. A lot of the fascination in ancient Egypt is the mummification process.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Because they found the temple of Anubis with how much thousands of mummified dogs. They
Yes.
found that what 2-3 years ago? No, about 3-4 years ago.
Probably about 3 4 years ago.
They recently found that in Egypt,
Yeah.
a whole heap of mummified dogs. Today, that will be and the animal
Yep.
cruelty
And
act would have been in effect. These people would have been with their picket signs. It,
You
it would
know-
have been a problem. So how today that's considered evil. That's bad. That's wrong with them.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, so good.
Right.
Anthony, thank you. Salute to you for that super chat support.
You know, the whole, idea of these people being cosmopolitan. First, all of those mummified dogs, and it wasn't just dogs they that they mummified; those were their pets, and having pets was very, very important to the ancient Egyptians.
But was they sacrificed? Because
Oh
when the
no,
news report came, they was like,
right.
yo, it was sacrifices.
I do believe
They had
that
the altar
I
for the
do
dog
believe that they
sacrifice.
would have sacrificed dogs, and I believe that because if you understand the use of sacrifice, even down to energy, there are different animals that you sacrifice to get
Different thing, yes.
a different result.
Yes.
You know, um, they would mummify a lot of those animals because they would be continued use of the spirit
Stop right
of
there.
the animal
Stop
after
right
it
there.
passed.
Stop right there. I'm gonna do something. Cause I see y'all up in here. First off, if y'all really do, number one, do y'all want me to let Baba Nu rock out?
No, sleep to Brooklyn.
Do you want me to let him rock out? Give you the information. Type in BMB. If you want me to let him rock out, cause y'all know I'll stop and whatnot because I've seen the courses, so it's way more stuff. If you want me to let him rock out, type in BMB, and y'all better hit the damn like button, cause I'm seeing how much of y'all on here. So let me know if y'all want me to let him rock out. I'll just completely give him the floor and let him rock out. Look at the BMBs coming. Gosh damn. Y'all want Babanu to straight rock out. Y'all want to know about the ancient Egyptians being evil. What's going on with Kemet, huh? Let me see. I don't see them likes going up. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. All right. They want you to rock out. You ready?
Okay.
I'm going to let you rock out.
Uh-huh.
Give you free range. People, Big Money Benjamin brings to you Baba. Now I know you ain't gonna get into the college courses.
Nah, but
so I ain't gotta
yeah,
tell you though.
yeah. I'm gonna hit some.
But I know you're gonna hit them with
some
hard
scholarly stuff. With some scholarly stuff.
They know that.
Yeah.
You see, look at all the BNBs. Look at the likes going up. Now y'all gotta fix that like. Y'all gotta fix the likes. Fix the likes. You know you haven't hit the like button. Hit the like button. Come right here. Come center frame, sir. Come center frame. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Because this is one of the rare moments. Because we got the course coming. So I don't want y'all to say, yo, we just needed a little more information. Just give us a little sneak peek. Why you acting like that? You going to make us pay so much for the course. And we... Do you, Bobby? Give it to them.
This guy.
No.
Go and have fun, man.
Give it to them.
Give it
Was
to them.
the ancient Egyptians evil? What's the story behind that? Why are they glorified?
Right.
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna start with E.A. Wallace Budge.
Let them know the link.
Egyptian Magic by E.A. Wallace Budge.
Let them know the link.
The link to the event.
I just posted up the link, people, to the Eventbrite. That's the link for the Eventbrite. Get the courses. Y'all asked for it. I've given it to y'all. Babanu gave it to y'all. Get the courses.
You know, and the ancient Egyptians were their civilization that we are studying. It lasted about 4,000 years. You know, in recent times, we haven't had civilizations that are that old, that last that long. I think that China right now is about 2,000 years plus. which is why it's very, very important that you also study China as well. We should understand that in this day and time, it's actually miraculous that a people can stay together for that long, and you can't do that without uh, a culture that is moral enough. So the answer to were the ancient Egyptians evil in a general sense on in average, no. You're not going to have that type of stability, that type of unity and harmony amongst people, whereby they can thrive, against the adversities of life, survive being conquered for 4,000 years plus. But they were very, very well versed in magic and in our science. What we now are being told is superstition. For them, that that it wasn't a superstition at all. It was their regular practices of life. And if you don't, one, study from authors like Budge, like myself, get into voodoo, get into other African cultures. You it's going to be hard to get a grasp and an understanding of these people, because by and large you are just reading words and looking at pictures. When you're just reading words and looking at pictures, it's hard to get an idea for feeling, rhythm, emotion, vibe, and those type of things. But here goes. A study of the remains of the native religious literature of ancient Egypt, which have come down to us, have revealed the fact that the belief in magic, that is to say, in the power of magical names and spells and enchantments and formula and pictures and figures and amulets, and in the performance of ceremonies accompanied by the utterance of words of power to produce supernatural results, formed a large and important part of the Egyptian religion. And it is certain that, notwithstanding the continuous progress which Egyptians made in civilization and the high intellectual development to which they eventually attained, this belief influenced their minds, and from the earliest to the latest period of their history, shaped their views concerning things temporal as well as spiritual, in a matter which, at this stage in the history of the world, is very difficult to understand. It's very difficult for him to understand. And you have to be careful when you are reading books not to get caught up into the psychology of the writer and the author of the book. Since we have to realize that, one, they have an agenda, two, they might be relaying information on a subject matter for which they have no experience. They're just studying it and reading it like we are. These are people like, Budge, and other notable Egyptologists that learned the language, translated into English, but were not necessarily practitioners of a spiritual culture. Religious ceremonies and carried out the rules which they had formulated concerning the worship of the divine power of powers and the devotion to religious magic, gained for them among the nations with whom they came in contact the reputation of being at once the most religious and the most superstitious of men. That this reputation was on the whole well deserved is the object of this little book to shew. This is the book on Egyptian magic. So what the author is saying is that it was recorded that they were the most religious and what he is calling superstitious people. Egyptian magic dates from the time when the pre-dynastic and prehistoric dwellers in Egypt believed that the earth and the underworld and the air and the sky were people with countless beings, visible and invisible, which were held to be friendly or unfriendly to man according as the operations of nature. And it's very, very critical to, take a pause and think of what that meant. When you read the history of the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians stated and claimed that there was a time when the gods and the goddesses were not invisible to man, and that the gods and the goddesses walked the earth visible. And it is awesomely true. Um, there is on the History Channel, there was a show on Christianity and the Bible, and they actually went into detail as to the fact that the deities, the angels, gods, and goddesses, they cloak themselves from man. You know, when your mind, our mind is cold in the language of our time, and in order to not be superstitious, we need a scientific explanation. And the idea of science, as in the type of technologies that we might see and conceive of, the idea that these are things that are not foreign to, let's call them gods and goddesses, but to priests, priestesses, etc., and practitioners of the craft from even now, going back to very far in in the past. And it might take a little bit of time to examine for yourself and analyze, you know what's the problem here, because what we have in human civilization and history, we have this up and down flow of advanced technology and science, and then what we might call the primitive type of lifestyle. It is only but recently that some of us are waking up to this. You might go back 50, 60 years, 40 years. The average person studying uh, ancient Kemet, it could be even the Bible, the Quran, regular religious texts, and historical books, they could not conceive that it could have been 10, 20, 30, or 40,000 years ago, or even 100,000 years ago, that there were human beings like you and I living on planet Earth, operating advanced technological devices, machinery, and weaponry, because it was all hidden. Years ago, a sister, I would say that her gift is storytelling. She said that, we are living in the forgetting time. And one of the best ways that I could address and speak to it is when I did a show on narcissism and agnosticism. Because, you know, the narcissism, the agnosticism was mainly to put magic, what we're calling magic, and even what we're calling spirituality under the table. Um, up, up to that point, it was the responsibility of the ancient Egyptians and other nations like them to really press forward with technological advancement. And this is technological advancement in the area of the manipulation of light, to have electricity and energy, and to have automation with with motors. And then it can come later. You will have computers and software for the artificial intelligence to control those things, to take it to the next level. They, and not just they and a lot of other, we call them great nations of antiquity, they got stuck. um, the the that technological advancement was severely hampered, held back, and suppressed. But the magic, the witchcraft, you can say, that was very, very prevalent. Which is why when you read books by Budge, it would state that people consider them to be very religious, meaning that the most ancient people now, amongst the other nations, they had the reputation of being uh, religious obsessed, and they were religious obsessed for moral reasons because of what they had experienced in their history, being traumatized with this technological advancement being used to cause massive death. A lot of people died. Then there was punishment, there was floods, those types of things. So they were skittish with the technological advancement, but were not with the religious ceremonies, the religious practices, and making sure as best that they can that they kept the negative uh, forces at bay so that their citizenry and their social order could actually focus more on unity, community, and harmony and stuff like that. And that's what's very, very important about studying the ancient Egyptians. And that's also what can be very, very, very confusing about studying them is that the ancient Egyptians were lying about their technological know-how, and in the depictions that they have of the building of the temples and the pyramids, they're actually lying to us about how they did it in terms of making us think that they were carving stone with primitive tools that were tons, and that it took hundreds of thousands of stones to build these things. Now, what happened in terms of the ancient Egyptian mystery system morphing now into masonry is because a, a lot of what for these people would be considered the enlightenment, meaning they had the ideological enlightenment, they had the moral and the behavioral enlightenment, meaning they weren't degenerate like us at all. The techno enlightenment, that was their biggest secret. The people who got to work intimately with temple building and temple repairs, those are the people uh, who inherited and who took the system of masonry to other countries and, and to Europe. And it's called masonry because the temples were made of stone. Now, to get an idea of some of the technological things that they were doing in these temples, there is a documentary on the Alexandrian period of ancient Kemet. And they show that in the temples, they use magnets to levitate statues. Um, they also used engineering with, like pistons and pipes and steam to, cause different types of rotational effects and those types of things. There's also that they found, what they call the Baghdad battery, which they also found in ancient Egypt as well, which showed that they knew about electricity. But there is a reason why we can only see a Baghdad battery. We can see documentaries on how much they understood and used electromagnetic, but we really can't see a lot of advanced technology. There was another documentary that I was watching where it's clear that the image that they are showing has something to do with technology and science, but the 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 documentarian read the glyphs and what they said, and it clearly said in his interpretation, and yes, I trust the man. He said that it is saying that this type of science is very dangerous, and I think that it says something other to the effect of we are keeping this hidden. But he clearly said that the glyphs were saying that this type of science, this type of knowledge or whatnot, is very, very dangerous, and it's by a glyph of what people call a light bulb. It's like these huge light bulb looking glyphs, you know, and then it has what could be considered some type of wire coming from it, you know. So once you see, if your mind is good enough, 4,000 years of history, building of massive structures, understanding of electromagnetism and electricity, and it's a wonder, you know, for some people, because they've been this, search to, get a better understanding and proof and validation of the technological advancements of the ancient Egyptians. You're not going to get much because they weren't trying to technologically advance. Um, that is, as I've been told, that's one of the reasons why they fell. Um, they didn't fall because they were evil, or you know they ate meat. They didn't fall because of that. They didn't fall because of animal sacrifices. They fell because they didn't want to fulfill their destiny and the destiny of the human population. It's very, very important that you understand this. It's one world government. What we see with the Western world and the ruling elites and the Illuminati and all this stuff, one world government, new world order, globalization, that's human destiny. Um, you're not going to achieve. You need the technological advancement to achieve that. Um, you need more than just ships and boats that run on steam. You need flight technology. You need, you know, computerized technology, data storing technology. You need those type of things, and you need a committed workforce. To put it bluntly, you need people participating in a level of servitude until you get to the part where, and this is where we are stuck as a species. We've never achieved utopia. Utopia is the type of moral standards that the ancient Egyptians have. You study and get an understanding, and some Africans still have it, not all. Some people in Asia still have it, and the technology. The type of technological advancement it would take. Some of you have to get out of the box. You have to get out the box of this Western experience to see that, one, we have just about every single thing that we need, but the innovation. We are responsible for the innovation. Mother Nature is an example of innovation. However, we have to use our own hands and feet, till the soil, dig things up, dig metals up, make different types of machines that can make machines themselves. We have to make machines that can perform a whole lot of tasks like cleaning, like recycling, even like cooking, I dare say. the type of things that some people might, I guess, be thinking, oh my God, we're not going to be able to do that anymore. It's your hobby now, not because you need to get paid for it. You know, one of the things that for me is very critical in terms of not just having classes and being able to teach and not just reading a book and writing books is that to be able to get a whole lot of people, conceptualize starting a movement where people firmly believe that you can achieve utopia, and they know they have enough of the ingredients. For one thing, getting really spiritually connected, I got to a point where I started to understand quote unquote free energy and how to create free energy. And I saw this with a dynamo and a magnetic motor, meaning that uh, change the dynamo into a magnetic motor. What is interesting is that dynamos have two magnets in them. And I said to myself, if the magnet has two poles and it causes a metal to push, if you have enough magnets around the central axle, the poles will cause it to spin. So I looked up magnetic motor. Look up magnetic motor, and you'll see that we don't need oil. Um, some of the madness that these Westerners are doing now is that they're trying to create ethanol, meaning you spend all this time and energy making corn. You fertilize the soil, till the soil, plant it. It's taking all this energy from the sun, for the photosynthesis and the time, and then you turn it into oil. I'm sorry, into ethanol, which is a very, very low yield in terms of energy output. This is why I said you have to start thinking outside of the box, and you have to look in another direction. You literally have to stop looking at these people. These people and the Western world have gone over the edge with insanity. They are caught up in greed. Capitalism is based on greed. If you if you don't dump capitalism, you can't conceive of a utopian society where money isn't necessary, whereby all the food that you need is produced, of course, in a tropical climate. I even got to the point where, I was talking about the fact that it's only one sun, so we have 4 seasons. The fact is that we can technologically advance enough where we can actually change the climate in the northern and southern poles. You know, we don't have to be subject to winter. We don't. We can develop the technology that changes the climate and keep it balanced, not to throw it out of balance for our comfort, but to have the comfort and the balance. But if we're and they were stuck on oil as a fuel, and this type of fuel, whether it is cursing so much that most people now, this is how sick they are. They're getting people hooked on intergalactic travel. You notice they haven't solved the fuel problem for intergalactic travel. Uh, you can't get a fuel tank big enough to hold enough fuel to put it on a spaceship that it can travel far distances, because that is the only way they look at fuel that they're promoting to the public. I think last week on the last show, I was talking about the hydrogen fusion cycle. It's critical that you understand the hydrogen fusion cycle. It's critical that you understand. They call it 0 point energy. I call it magnetic motors. They're calling it the 0 point because you are tapping into energy from the base level of matter, which is the hydrogen. Um, with the magnets and their rotation, it causes something called photon or electron induction into the copper coils, and that's the electricity that's used to fuel what it is that you need to power what you need to. Not just that, in terms of propulsion. Just with magnets, you can create the type of propulsion that you need for your vehicles. But when you're stuck on oil, and we are stuck on oil for purely power, control, and financial reasons, but now it's affecting our ability to evolve. And spirituality, religion, culture, etc., is for evolution, is to improve things. You know, the destiny of America was to rebirth Atlantis, and this is when it got real for me, because at first it was like, man, I'm stuck on Kemet all the time. Why am I stuck on Kemet all the time? And then my guides told me that it's the framework and culture of Atlantis. But you have to get to the technology and the science. That's the thing. What Kemet represents is the culture of Atlantis, the pantheon, and the standards of Atlantis, which was a global union. Um, the technology wasn't there. The technological part now, for me, this started about 4 years ago. It became super important because you have to prepare for the future. The future is not the Western world. The future is not capitalism. The future is not an economy and a society that is ran on this type of competition. The the competition and the competitive spirit will not be used in the way that it is being used. You know, you won't have to be fighting for resources. You won't have to be worried about food. You will be more worried about your heart. You will be more worried about whether you are righteous or not. That will be the pressing thing on your mind. In the life stage, it really puts people at a space of, should I choose surviving uh, by being righteous or by being unrighteous? And a lot of times, people are forced to take what they believe is the unrighteous choice, and that's by design. But then what it does is that we don't have, what happens in the Western world is that we don't have brilliant evolutionary theorists getting into positions of leadership. It's pretty much dark. It is pretty much done. It's like they say, the revolution will not be televised. The evolution won't be televised either, because it's a threat to corporate America. It's a threat. We live in a corporatocracy. Corporations run the world, and money is the fuel of the engine of this world. And they have sought to defraud mankind and to pit us in this buying things forever, things are not of value. Buying things forever, things not of value, things that don't do much for you. You know, uh, things that you can't pass down to your kids to keep this liquid cash flow economy going. And what happens is that, and you know, it is like I've spoken to a couple of people. I meditate a lot. What happens is that you miss out on the mysteries of life. In this rat race, you really, really miss out on the mysteries of life, on the grandeur of life, on the miracle of life. One of the things that so much bothers the hell out of me with contemporary Christians and Christian doctrine, it's like, man, people are not going to get that because the society that they live in is so terrible. All of these promises, whether it's a promise of a heaven, whether it's a threat of a hell, it doesn't get you of the rat race. And it's no wonder that we have these, church leaders that are so obsessive about making money. We have the money, church guys now, because we live in a rat race time, as opposed to garnering the resources and setting up a system that is not based on capitalism, where people can devote more of their time and their energy to improving their life. And I'm saying this because we can't wait, and we shouldn't wait on the government to improve things. We really do have to take it upon ourselves. I'm an independent author for a reason. Don't expect the system to promote the truth. And I hope that certain people see this, and we have to know that a lot of the people that we grew up as young kids idolizing on TV, these people are wholesomely evil. From the Oprah Winfrey's, you know, these people have nothing to do with making sure that there's real improvement and change. They're all part of an evil system. That's pretty much what they are. you know their job is to give you all types of fancy cotton candy, quote unquote, new age spirituality ideas, when on the other hand, it's rough, it's tough. Get armed with offensive weapons, and get armed with things that can protect and defend you, and learn how to protect yourself. Learn how to be both offensive and defensive. This spirituality, this religion, this knowledge, and these ideals are not to make you weak, are not to make you complacent, and are not to give you some type of butterfly fairy tale idea of life. No, it's to give you the tools that you can deal with a very, 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 very evil system. And after 25 years of study, of research, after years of thinking that, hey, if you're doing the right thing, it's going to turn out right. It's not that simple at all. You can best believe, if you're doing the right thing, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get really, really ugly, and you're going to have to learn to grow teeth. When you study the ancient Egyptian creation stories, this is the root and foundation of the mystery system. You're seeing the evolution of life from a very dangerous and chaotic place to a more advanced state, and you're also seeing the tools and techniques necessary, which is why I speak about the cosmogonical practice, which comes from the cosmology. You learn certain things. I had I have a client. And by the way, I do readings, I do spiritual work, I help people to decode their, dreams and, stuff like that. So if you need help with that, you can contact me. But, she was talking about seeing snakes, having snakes in her dreams, stuff like that. There is a reason why you are going to see certain animal prototypes in your dreams and in your visions when certain things are going on in your life. And the other thing that you also get to see too is what type of animal to deal with the situation. So I I there's two things that I've learned. It's called match force. If if the problem in your life is serpentine, then you need serpents to deal with the problem. Sometimes you might see bears or dogs, bears. When I was a child, it's very, very interesting. We believed that if you have a dream about bears, it was nightmares. Bears were associated with nightmares. Russia, the Russian bear. But sometimes you might dream about bears. One of the things to know that if bears are coming after you in your dreams, is it is for the long haul. Even though bears hibernate in the winter, a bear as as an as an adversary represents a foe that is going to be tenacious in years. You are looking to be in big trouble if you have bears coming after you in your dreams and stuff like this. But just 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 to be clear that you don't want to learn things just to sound good. And you don't want to learn things just to feel good. You want practical application of knowledge. You want knowledge that is practical. You want knowledge that is universal and ageless. You want knowledge that is timeless. The type of knowledge, tools, and techniques that can be applicable and practical for different times and situations in your life. For the people out there listening in, if you want to contact me to get a reading done, stuff like that, my email address is Egyptian voodoo priest at gmail.com. That's EgyptianVoodooPriest at gmail.com. Egyptian voodoo priest at gmail.com. It is really, really good that one of the things that I've been noticing is that there is a continued peak in people who want not just spiritual information, but yes, but solutions and a reason why. If you keep track of the events happening around the globe that are going up, you know, recently, one of my guides kept telling me about the volcano, and so I went and did some research on volcanic activity, and you want to do research on volcanic activity around the globe. It's a definite uptick in volcanic activity around the globe. One of the things that you need to understand is mathematics. As the human population increases, especially since there isn't a predominant moral culture, it will get worse. It will get more critical and important that you have amulets. It will get more critical and more important that you have shrines. And it will get even more critical that you take spiritual baths. Another major, major thing that you should employ in your life is taking cleansing spiritual baths to get rid of a lot of the negative energy that gets stuck in your aura. You know, you should have a diet, a detox diet, or you should detox, I would say, mildly once a week, intensely 4 times a year. Mildly once a week, for people that work the 9 to 5, work Monday through Friday, etc. Friday evening, you get some type of detox herb that gives you diarrhea, and you water it down. Don't follow the directions on the package. Follow half of the prescription just to get an idea and to get a feel. And you be surprised. Even though it's not the full amount, it still helps. But you want to get to a point where you are understanding the measurement, so that you can ensure that you get a detox on a consistent basis. We don't reach 43 years old looking healthy like this just by dumping garbage into our bodies all lifetimes and not detoxing. As a matter of a fact, wrinkles are from heavy metal toxins buildup in your body. That's the major cause of wrinkles, being heavy wrinkled. So, you want to have shiny skin and healthy skin. Detox is a very, very, very big part of it. One of the things I really, really will be getting into in with these classes is stress. Stress management is critical. And let me tell you, you don't know the type of stress that people like myself on, quite frankly, spiritual warfare path go through. Anytime you have to do spiritual work for somebody else, you catch hell. Anybody that is consistently engaged in doing quote unquote spiritual work for other people knows it's hell. Um, it's a miracle that you can choose such a profession and be able to keep up good spirits, happiness, laughter, but health is the main key, and you really can't get caught up in in the dogma of diet fads. You have to make sure that you get good protein, good carbohydrates, and good vitamins and minerals.
Hold on. Yeah, I see the book right there. The God Genes Decoded by R.A. Waldron. That's this man right here. Okay? Anybody that's getting the courses, you get the book half price. Okay?
And we're making it clear now. You get the courses, the book is 50% off, volume one
price.
and two.
Yes, volume 2 will also
So
be
be
half price.
50% off.
Okay? So, we let you know this. Now, I let them rock out. I let them rock out. Y'all can't say I didn't. I'm putting up the link for y'all one more time. Only one more gain, as they say in the South. One more gain. Here it is. Let me go in for next time too. Okay? You see it there? That's the Eventbrite link. All right? The Eventbrite link is right there. Get those courses now, people. Let them know how much days. 6 days is the course.
This is going to be a 6-day course whereby I'll be going into detail on the ancient Egyptian mystery system. We're going to be getting into the tree of life, which is very, very critical. The tree of life, Kabbalah, and for people who take all 6 courses, by the 5th and the sixth course, or as a special encore free course or part of the last course, I will be teaching you
Move over some.
I will be teaching you how to do your divination readings. And I think this is very, very
Hold on,
critical.
back up. What do you mean for the people that take, that if they take all six
Six courses.
When you take all six courses, you will know in dealing the divination work, and we're going to go deeper into that in course two. I don't want to jump the gun
Yeah.
and let them know everything we're doing.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want some, you know how
Yeah.
the next one
Yeah.
going, we're teaching
Yeah.
such and such.
Yeah.
No, we ain't doing those.
You know, a couple weeks ago, probably 6 or so weeks ago,
No
this
names.
was. No, I'm not naming it, but this was after Joel had did that live stream. A lot of people signed up. He had me on. I was doing readings. You saw how many readings I did. How easy it was for me to get into people's psyche. Everything just on their birthday. I will be showing you enough of that.
Because you had people right after want to copy and
Man,
jump on
people was calling me. I want one of those readings. I was like,
Yeah.
hold on.
they want to cut.
You don't want to.
I don't want to say the name of the impersonators that, you know. Like, yo,
Man.
hold on. It's just coincidentally
Yeah.
after me and Baba knew.
I'm
was
telepathic,
on here,
right?
You wanna come and now you talk about you teaching this? Why you ain't been teaching that before, homie?
I'm
But we gonna leave
telepathic.
him
Yeah,
alone. We
because
gonna leave
I
him
be
alone.
hearing the conversations that people are having. Because one of the things it shows, people want to know how to make money.
Oh, that's a fact.
So
And not just how to make money. People want to know
how to be fantastic.
exactly, because with the
Yeah.
truth of the system, a lot of people sugarcoat what's really going on. All
Yeah.
right? So when you're dealing with Baba Nu and myself, we're not sugarcoating nothing for y'all. If it's something we don't know, like he'll know something that I don't know, and he'll be like, all right, I'll show you. Or vice versa. I might not know something, and he'll be like, oh, I got a few. I'm gonna show you right there. You understand? If he don't know something, I'm like, I got it. I'll show you right there. That's the key. No ego in the way. Okay? About to say, what's going on? That's your phone.
I don't know who that is.
Well, damn, at least take off the damn ringer. Thank you, sir. These are the ills of going live, people. These are the ills of going live. Real quick, $45. B&B, Big Money Benjamin hat. Yes, shameless plug. Pushing the merch. All right, me, I like wearing my cap like this.
Yeah, you
Always,
see,
always watch out for them Trinis when you see them. Any Trini you see and they got their cap like this, run. I shouldn't be saying that, being that I do that. See, Baba knew from the West Indies, so he know. And you know, I was gonna say something. I'm gonna leave it alone. But we got the hats, we got the merch. All right, the shirts. We got something going on with the shirts. Just holla at your boy. But definitely, we got the BMB hat, blessed up hat. You understand? If you want the hat, you know, let me just put the number to call, because I don't want people to say, oh, you didn't put it or whatever. If you want the hat, and yes, believe me when I tell you, the hats are blessed. I'm putting the link for the courses one more time.
Nice.
All right, and I'm going to put the number for people that want to purchase the hat, so you can't say you don't know. So that number is 929-374-3828. That's 929-374-3828. Again, 929-374-3828. We're blessing the hats. We're doing what we got to do. Also, coming in May 18th. Dun, 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 dun. We giving you the cheat code. Yes, we have the cheat code, people. I'm tired of people hitting me up in the inbox. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm tired of getting cursed out. That's what it really is. People in my inbox cursing me out. People calling me, cursing me out, calling me, you bitch ass. Yeah, you know you got the information, and you keeping it to yourself. You stingy mother. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, hold damn there now, sister. Hold
You
on now.
understand? How you know? It be women. Well, because I talk with you, but it be women. And I'm like, what? I
I'm
mean,
doing
some
all I
dudes
can
too.
here.
Like,
Oh my
I
god.
done bought you Baba New, Khan Sushashuma Moon, me and my brother Divine, and we've been telling y'all stuff left and right to let you know. So now we have it everything all condensed in one. Cause people want to say, yo, how you buying these houses? How you doing this over there? What you're doing? How you opening up the business? We giving you everything, the physical and the spiritual. So you don't. So I don't want to hear no complaints, no problem. Any crystals you get that you need for the event for May 18th, it's gonna be blessed. If you're getting the hats, we're blessing the hats. We're blessing everything. I don't want to hear no excuses. You have no excuses. For y'all talk about y'all want to get deep into the Egyptian mystery system. I have the event right there. I'm gonna post that one more damn time. One more again, because I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. I'm dead serious on that one. Okay? Dead serious on that one. So there it is. One more again. All right? Is up there. So you get your course. Because a lot of people been getting the course. The good part about this is as much people could get the course, no cutoff limit with it. So that's the good part about it. Because normally we'll do a cutoff limit because when we're doing these type of stuff, the spiritual energy
Yeah.
and the stuff that we gaining from the people or whatever. So we have it for you. Now, if you want to go to the schools and pay 3,500 or a little bit more, what's the highest they went up to?
Well,
They went up
4.
to 4.
Yeah.
So if you want to pay anywhere to 3,500 to $4,000 and only get three of the curriculums, all right, when you could get for way less than that 6. Okay, and don't start y'all. No, I gotta hit them with it, Babadoo, cause I've been having people saying some stuff. Don't try to come with your bullshit about 666. Why you made it 6? I see what you doing, Joelle. We know what you're doing. No. Just shut up right now. Don't do that. Don't do that, cause you're gonna get cursed out. All right. For the people that been cussing me out, telling me all type of garbage, I have Baba New here. I had to twist a man's arm to get into the courses. You understand? Because he really felt that y'all wasn't ready for it. I'm gonna tell you right now. He
You
really
know,
felt it because it's a lot of work he got to do. Because he just gave 3 extra ones that he refused to sell to the schools in the first damn place.
you know, one, you're going to be getting information that only initiates get, people who are in the culture get, people who have been doing a lot of research for a long time have learned certain things. Also, uh, choosing to show people how to do readings, that's a huge deal. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of people that can only do readings if the person is right next to them or close to them, or they can see the person so that they can pick up on the person. But when you can do readings with an oracular device, you can get a lot of information. Some of the information that you get is more critical than what a psychic would pick up on. Because a lot of what psychics do is they're really fishing for information, you know? Uh, they also pick up on things that the person is thinking about, but it might not necessarily be the problem or the root and source of the problem. When you're using a oracular device, whether it could be tarot, it could be I Ching, it could be Ifa,
Pendulums.
pendulums, it gets to the root, the trigrams of the I Ching with the deities on the tree of life, and thus the zodiac, the type of in depth and insight you can get with doing the I Ching reading. Um, you'll be able to, for those of you out there who want to see yourself being able to, whether it's do it for your friends, not just yourself, but want to take further, do it for your friends, charge other people, add it as something else that you might be doing, or use it to supplement something that you might be doing. You might be a healer, a masseuse, you might be a counselor, a guide, etc. You know, you can do readings and get a lot of insight. You can do a character reading on someone.
And let me say this. When he came with the courses, and I looked at the courses, mind you, at first he was like, "Yeah, I don't think the people is ready for it," right? And I agreed with him to a certain extent. I was like, maybe not the majority, but there's a good amount that are. Those are the ones we're looking to reach. And then this man showed me the course. I said, mm-mm, you can't be teaching these people no damn I Ching. You can't be going into this I Ching system. Me and the man had an argument. You see him over there grinning? Me and him had an argument about it.
Gotta change the game.
And for him to say that, yo, you see what he just said, you got to change the game. Because me personally, I was like, yo, don't give up that system to these people. And he don't do nothing without consulting the entities that he deals with. So once he tell me, he's like, yo, he told me exactly that. You got to change the game. My response is, what the you mean you got to change the game? This is not a game. And he was like, Joel, people, the few people that you told me about, they're ready for this. Because he's doing the three other courses, and that's one of the main reasons why he refused to give it to them when they wanted the damn course in the colleges in the first damn place. Am I right or wrong?
And yes, sir, and I might not be around. I might not be around. So, decisions. I might not be around.
Keep a mental note of that, people, and what he just said.
But you know, I really thought of what really helped me. I was blessed to learn how to do divinations at a young age, and I was
Very
blessed
young age.
at a very young age, and I was blessed to be shown, you know, how to ask a question, just how to ask a question, not just that you could construct the trigrams and the hexagrams, but the questions that you ask.
And how to create.
Yeah.
How to create. Now, I don't want to talk too much into it, but you know,
Yep.
since you already told him that much, yeah, how to create.
Yeah.
And when we say create, you ask the question, you see what you see, and you get the answer. Now, what are you going to command?
Yeah. And the thing is that readings are like magical crossroads. When you do a reading, it's like you started something. You know?
Put out that course one more time for y'all people. All right? I'm going to put the Eventbrite out one more time for y'all. Okay? And when you go on there and you check, you're going to see the other courses there too. We got a special coming up for you soon. I'm going to advertise it soon. Be on the lookout for that. Oh, we got a lot of things coming. We are not playing. Also have that King Simon event too. I'm doing the live stream for that as well. All right, so you're gonna see it all there when you go on Joel Benjamin 528 on Eventbrite. All right, so I put the information out there for you, people. All right, salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Oh yeah, for people that have been asking me about the hats, cause I'd be like, yo, I could have sworn me and Brother Divine talked about all this stuff in the pay-per-view live stream, like what be going on. But I know sometimes y'all just want to hear me say it again. So if you want the hats, 929-374-3828. That's 929-374-3828. Yes, the hats are blessed. We do what we gotta do to the hats. I don't want to hear no excuses. Or you born now, you bless the hat, brother, and whatnot, whatnot. All you need to know is that when you get it, the stuff work. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic audience. Come on, salute them, damn it, Babanu.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, yo,
Peace
you
and love
funny,
to
bro.
everybody out there. This is 2019. It's a
Yeah.
brand new year. Everybody wake up. Get rid of your fear. It's time to learn, man.
And don't forget,
No more
the
playing.
God Jeans, the coated leather back. You get it here, autograph, copy, autograph, copy. We have the real deal here at Nicholas Brooklyn. Where? Nowhere else, right?
Only at Nicholas Brooklyn, and we have to say this again. When you order the courses, the book is 50% off.
Five
Because,
zero.
yep, a couple of people called me up there and said, Papa New, what did Joel say? He said 50% off. Then he said $50 off. I want 50% off.
They keep mixing it up. I'm like, I
Yeah,
said fifty
and
percent,
a
half
couple of people
price.
have been waiting for me to clear that up because, listen, quite a few people that I did readings for, when they are getting the course, they're like, I'm gonna get the course. And if it's 50% off, it's cleared up now. The book is going to be 50% off when you get the course.
Hell, that's why I say half price. I could have sworn like half is 50, but okay, whatever.